Pirates of the Caribbean. What's now regarded as one of the greatest action movie franchises of all time wasn't such a sure thing right out of the gate. You see, when the first movie was coming out, everyone thought that it was going to be a box office bomb. Not only was it another attempt by Disney to make a movie based on one of its theme park attractions, with the previous attempt being 2002's The Country Bears, which flopped at the box office, grossing just $18 million on a budget of $35 million, but it was also a pirate movie. You see, at that time, pirate movies were well known as being box office poison. They never did well, almost always losing money, and usually getting forgotten about almost instantly. The final thing that had people expecting the film to be a bomb was the casting of Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp at that time was not the leading man he is today. He was an actor mainly known for cult films, stuff like Edward Scissorhands, Ed Wood, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. All great films and good starring roles, but they weren't mainstream. So casting Depp as one of the leads in a big-budget summer blockbuster seemed like an odd choice. But then Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl released in theaters on July 9th, 2003, and the rest is history. The film received great reviews right out the gate, with some calling it the best movie of the summer. And as for the box office bomb part of it all, that wasn't the case at all. The film ended up grossing $654.3 million on a budget of $140 million. As such, Disney quickly got to work on getting a sequel made. In October 2003, just a few months after the release of the first film, it was officially announced that Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley had all signed on for a second film, with the plan being to shoot the second and a potential third movie back-to-back, and to release them right after each other. Filming for the sequel would officially begin on February 28, 2005, in Palos Verdes. But almost as soon as filming began, the marketing for the film already seemed to kick in, though it wasn't all at once, at first. Marketing for the film started slowly, when it was announced in late March of 2005 that a Pirates of the Caribbean-themed vessel would be an entry in that year's Volvo Ocean Race, an 8-month-long race across the ocean with stops in 10 separate countries. The boat in question was called the Black Pearl, which raced under the team name Pirates of the Caribbean for the United States. Dick Cook, the then chairman of the Walt Disney Company, said at the time, "We're excited to be participating in the prestigious Volvo Ocean Race, which is very much like the Formula One of yacht racing. This is a fun and unique way to remind viewers all over the world that Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest will be sailing into theaters next summer. Giving the film's high seas adventures and nautical themes, this marathon sporting event is a great way to make some waves and generate awareness among the millions of viewers." The race officially began in November of that year and ended in June the following year, a few weeks before the film's release, with the Pirates vessel coming in second overall. The first trailer for the film was released in theaters in December 2005, alongside screenings of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And from there, the marketing train had officially left the station. In the months leading up to the film's July 7th release date, Disney fully intended to take every advantage of the massive hype the sequel was generating. The Volvo Ocean Race wasn't the only promotion for the film that Volvo was a part of, as Disney and Volvo also teamed up to launch the Volvo The Hunt contest.
Somewhere in the world, we've buried a one-of-a-kind Volvo XC90. Find it, and it's yours. Inspired by Disney's new movie, Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest. Get a treasure map at a Volvo dealership and join the hunt.
Somewhere in the world, Volvo buried a one-of-a-kind Pirates of the Caribbean-themed Volvo XC90, and it was up to people to figure out where. By picking up a treasure map at their local Volvo dealership, players would be instructed to register online, where clues and puzzles would be emailed to them on a frequent basis. By solving the puzzles correctly, they would remain in the hunt for the car and get sent more clues. As the puzzles progressed, so did the difficulty, which resulted in a lot of online blog and forum posts with users helping each other out, all in hopes of being the one to find the car. The contest ended on July 12, 2006, when Volvo selected 7 finalists from the group who had correctly solved all the clues and puzzles. These 7 finalists were then flown out to an island in the Bahamas, where they then competed to figure out where on the island the car was buried. The ultimate winner was 30-year-old David Hutz from Virginia. He figured out the exact location of the car, and the treasure was his. But the other finalists also ended up walking away with a Volvo XC90. Just minus all the pirate detailing. The contest was a massive success with over 100,000 participants from around the world. A similar contest by Volvo would be held a year later in 2007 for the release of the third Pirates film at World's End. Unlike the first movie, Disney made sure to have toys ready for the film from the get-go, focusing on both toys aimed at kids and adult collectibles. For the main Dead Man's Chest toy line, newcomer Zizzle was enlisted to make figures and playsets for the film. And they truly left no stone unturned when it came to representing the film in plastic form. 3-inch figures, 6-inch figures, 12-inch figures, playsets, roleplay items, you name it. Zizzle's main Dead Man's Chest toy line featured 3 series of 3 3/4-inch figures and playsets. Series 1 included Captain Jack Sparrow with tri-corner hat, pistol, and sword, Prison Escape Jack Sparrow with pistol, coffin, and leg bone paddle, Will Turner with double dueling swords, Pirate Disguise Elizabeth Swann with 2 pirate swords, Davy Jones with walking stick, the Dead Man's Chest, and key, Bootstrap Bill Turner with pistol and sword, Pintail with pistol, sword, and removable bandolier, and Paulifico, one of the cursed pirates aboard the Flying Dutchman. Series 2 included Cannibal King Jack Sparrow with headhunter crown and pistol, Captain Norrington with pistol and broadsword, Maucus, Davy Jones' first mate, with pickaxe, and Cannibal Chief with spear, dagger, and shrunken head. Finally, Series 3 included Final Battle Jack Sparrow with sword and removable bandolier, Final Battle Will Turner with sword and removable bandolier, Captain Barbossa with sword and pistol, and Rigetti with the Dead Man's Chest and key. In addition to the regular figures, there were also 4 deluxe figures. Ocean Drenched Jack Sparrow with exploding longboat, 2 oars and pistol, Captain Jack Sparrow with firing black pearl cannon, kraken tentacle, tri-corner hat, and pistol, Will Turner with cannibal cage trap, and Davy Jones with barrel table, pirate's dice game, and sword. As mentioned previously, Zizzle also produced several playsets for the film.
This program brought to you by Zizzle, maker of Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean toys.
Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest. Prepare to battle on Isla Cruces, a tower with a trapdoor, breakaway ladder, pulley system, and the runaway mill wheel. Isla Cruces playset and deluxe pirate figures, each sold separately from Zizzle. Look for Captain Jack on the pack.
The playsets included Ultimate Black Pearl. This playset was huge, coming in at a massive 2.5 feet long. Isla Cruces playset, Flying Dutchman Pirate Deck Duel playset, and the Flying Dutchman Smoke Blast Cannon.
Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest. Straight from the movie comes Pirates of the Caribbean action. Battle with the Flying Dutchman Deck Duel playset. You're mine! A real pirate sword fight on top of the ship's deck with sound effects.
Your time is up.
Slide and spin your sword to help Jack Sparrow fight Davy Jones one-on-one.
I've got you now.
Battle's not over yet. Watch out for the Flying Dutchman Smoke Blast Cannon. The action never ends. The Flying Dutchman Deck Duel, Smoke Blast Cannon, and figures, each sold separately. Batteries not included. From Zizzle, look for Captain Jack on the pack.
The 6-inch figure line is known as the Pirate Clash figures. Each figure in this line came with an action feature so that the figures could do battle. This line included Quick Draw Jack Sparrow, Sword Slashing Jack Sparrow, Sword Thrusting Will Turner, Hatchet Hurling Will Turner, Claw Snapping Davy Jones, and Pickaxe Slashing Maucus. The 10-inch line wasn't so much action figures as they were static figurines. This line only had 2 figures, Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones. Each figure featured electroluminescent technology which allowed them to glow. Which, for 2006, I have to admit is a pretty fun action feature, even if these were just basically statues. The 12-inch line was a set of 3 figures that featured real clothing and character-appropriate accessories. These were essentially Barbie dolls aimed at the boy demographic, kinda like the old Mego figures from back in the day. This line only consisted of Jack Sparrow, Will Turner, and Davy Jones. Zizzle did a ton of other stuff for the film, so much so that it would take me forever to go through it all. So I'll run through a few other highlights before we continue on our journey. The Pirate Fleet line, which was a line of small ships that each came with miniature figures, so you could quite literally have a fleet of ships. A set of miniature figurines, though bigger than the ones in the Pirate Fleet line. Tons of roleplay items like an actual Dead Man's Chest, Cotton's Talking Parrot, and of course, the official Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest pinball machine. Zizzle also hosted a Jack Sparrow look-alike contest. The contest was held by Zizzle at Toy Store FAO Schwarz in New York City on June 13th from 3 to 5 p.m. Fans of the series were invited to dress up as Jack Sparrow and other characters like Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann. Contestants were judged on how accurate their costumes and personalities were to the characters. The judges for the contest included Janine DiGiacchino, the general manager of Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, Noah Robichon, a photojournalist for Entertainment Weekly, Carolina Bermudez, a Z100 radio DJ, and Roger Schiffman, the former CEO of Zizzle. The first place prize was a brand new Volvo XC90 filled with toys from Zizzle's Pirates line. The second place prize was $2,500 and a bunch of Pirates toys, and the third place prize was $1,000 and a bunch of Pirates toys. The first place winner was Ron Rodriguez, the second place winner was Toby Markham, and the third place winner was Chris the Lead-In Froze. The following year in 2007, Zizzle would also produce toys for the third Pirates film, At World's End. But that's a story for another time. As was commonplace with most Disney movies around that time, the Disney Store received an exclusive set of figures that could only be purchased there. These figures were in a 7-inch scale, and each came with multiple accessories. This line included Captain Jack Sparrow, Cannibal Jack Sparrow, Davy Jones, Will Turner, Elizabeth Swann, and Bootstrap Bill Turner. Toy company NECA, which specializes in high-end collectibles aimed more at adult collectors, also released a few lines for the film. A 7-inch line, a 12-inch line, and 2 18-inch figures. The main 7-inch figure line consisted of 3 series, each consisting of 4 figures. Each figure came with various accessories and a themed base. Series 1 included Jack Sparrow, Will Turner, Davy Jones, and Mockus. Series 2 included Jack Sparrow, Elizabeth Swann, Bootstrap Bill Turner, and Palifico. And Series 3 included Cannibal Jack Sparrow, Captain Barbossa, Captain Norrington, and Clinker. There was also an exclusive Cannibal Jack figure that came with different accessories than the regular figure and no base. For the 12-inch figures we have Jack Sparrow with coat, and Davy Jones. Finally, for the 18-inch motion-activated sound figures we have Jack Sparrow and Cannibal Jack. Mega Bloks would also produce construction sets for the film, with a total of 9 different sets. These sets included Jack Sparrow, Davy Jones, Port Royal, Isla Cruces, Dead Man's Chest, Bayou Discovery, Water Wheel Duel, The Black Pearl, and The Flying Dutchman. I have fond memories of these sets as I had a few of them as a kid. I specifically remember my aunt getting me the Port Royal and Water Wheel Duel sets, and I later got the Davy Jones set. The Wheel Duel set especially was a ton of fun, and the minifigures that came with the sets were all really detailed for the time, and looked close enough like the characters they were meant to represent. The Mega Bloks pirate sets are definitely an underrated line of construction sets. Toys weren't the only other place you could live out the adventures of Jack Sparrow that summer, however. With every major movie that came out in the 2000s, tie-in video games were sure to follow. And for the release of Dead Man's Chest, 2 separate video games were released in June of 2006. Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest was released for the PlayStation Portable on June 7th, and for the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS on June 27th. Kryptonite Games developed the PSP version, while Amaze Entertainment developed the GBA and DS versions. From what I've been able to tell, all 3 games appear to be the same in terms of story, with all just following the plot of the movie. The DS and PSP versions are third-person action-adventure games, while the GBA version is a 2D side-scroller. Jack Sparrow is the main playable character in all three versions, however, Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann are playable in the DS version. The second game was Pirates of the Caribbean: The Legend of Jack Sparrow, which also released on June 27th. Developed by 7 Studios and published by Bethesda and Ubisoft, the game took place after the events of the Curse of the Black Pearl, and centered on Jack recounting the tales of some of his most daring escapes, with some exaggerations here and there. Leading up to the film's July 7th release date, various books based on the film and franchise in general were released. There was, of course, the junior novelization, which basically gave you the entire story of the movie over a month before it came out. There were also a few storybooks published leading up to the film's release. These included The Chase Is On, The Curse of Davy Jones, and Swan Song. Each of these followed various plot points from the film and included pictures for younger readers. Jack Sparrow: The Coming Storm and Jack Sparrow: The Siren Song would both be published on June 1st. These are the first 2 entries in the Jack Sparrow book series, which centers on a young Jack decades before the events of the first movie. 3 more books in this series, The Pirate Chase, The Sword of Cortez, and The Age of Bronze, would all be released by the end of the year. The series would end after 13 books in early 2009. Like with most big movie releases, there were quite a few food tie-ins for the film. Kellogg's released a Dead Man's Chest themed cereal. It was a basic chocolate cereal with pirate-shaped marshmallows. The marshmallows were in the shape of a dagger, a treasure map, a captain's hat, a compass, and a pirate ship. This cereal stuck around into 2007, when it was rebranded with more generic Pirates of the Caribbean packaging, dropping the Dead Man's Chest subtitle. Kellogg's also promoted the film on their other cereals, like Frosted Flakes and Rice Krispies, putting the characters on the box, and giving away a free skull strobe in each box. These were plastic light-up skull keychains that came in 3 different colored keychains and lights. There was a special box set that came with all 3, although I'm unsure how one would have acquired this. My guess is that it was likely a promotional item sent out to various outlets. Speaking of promotional items, there was also this promotional Dead Man's Chest plastic bowl you could eat your cereal out of. I'm unsure of how this bowl would have been obtained, but my bet is it was likely some sort of mail-away item, though I can't find anything to support this. It's pretty cool though, featuring a skull as part of the design, with the movie's logo printed on the back. Kellogg's also released Pirates of the Caribbean themed fruit snacks in 4 flavors: strawberry, grape, orange, and cherry, in 6 different shapes: Treasure Map, the Jolly Roger, Captain's Wheel, Treasure Chest, Key, and Pirate's Gold. It's worth noting that the box just featured generic Pirates packaging with no Dead Man's Chest logo. The only indication of a new Pirates movie on the packaging is a brief mention on the top box flap that says the movie is in theaters in 2006, which likely means these fruit snacks were released before the film was given an official release date, although I have no way to verify this. M&M's also got in on the swashbuckling fun, releasing M&M Pirate Pearls, M&M Jack's Gems, and M&M Captain's Gold. The Pirate Pearls were white chocolate M&Ms which featured various pirate symbols on the candy itself, while Jack's Gems appears to have just been normal M&Ms, albeit with some pirate symbols like swords and skulls. I can't find as much info on the Captain's Gold, but based on the one picture I was able to find, it seems as if these were just standard peanut M&Ms, but with pirate symbols and colored like gold. The M&M Pirate Pearls even got a commercial with Rigetti interacting with the red and yellow M&Ms.
What are you doing? Get in and grab some of these white chocolate M&Ms.
Why don't you just use the other one, mate?
Oh, sorry.
The M&M's tie-in also featured plush of the M&M characters dressed as pirates. Red, yellow, blue, orange, and green all received a plush. These seem to have been available exclusively at the M&M's World Store in Las Vegas, and possibly also at the one that used to be located in the Florida Mall in Orlando. New tropical versions of Skittles and Starburst were also released. The packaging for these featured codes you could enter online to win various prizes, including pirate screensavers, iTunes downloads, and the grand prize $100,000. Lunchables also had a tie-in with the film.
The Lunchables Brigade! Let's go! Ahoy, mateys! Now Lunchables Chicken Dunks has free Pirates treasure and specially marked packages.
Each with a different temporary tattoo inside from Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest.
You can collect all 4 for even more pirate fun.
Wow!
And you can see the movie in theaters July 7th, rated PG-13. You can set sail for fun with Lunchable Chicken Dunks. A surprising twist that's hard to resist.
Inserted into every Lunchables Chicken Dunks meal was one of 4 plastic pieces of treasure, each in a different color. All 4 could be combined to form a logo for the film on the back. Inside each of these was a temporary Pirates-themed tattoo. I remember having the green compass piece, and I seem to also recall having the orange piece as well, though what was on it, I don't remember. Information on these are scarce, and photos are almost non-existent, outside of this one eBay auction I found for the green compass piece. I remember getting these at school during lunchtime though, and trading them with my friends who also had them. They were a really cool collectible for kids, and I wish they were better documented. But that's just the case with a lot of giveaway toys like this that you'd find packed in with various items at the grocery store. Most of them just aren't well documented. Still, this was a pretty fun tie-in. The biggest food tie-in though was hands down the collaboration with McDonald's. For starters, the restaurant offered a set of Happy Meal toys based on the film. These included Pirate Bandana, the Eyeball, Inflatable Pirate Sword, Skull Telescope, Pirate Adventure Journal, Treasure Chest, which was a small replica of the Dead Man's Chest, complete with key, plush pirate, and a plush skeleton. Each toy also included a small card with a piece of a treasure map on one side and a pirate phrase on the other. By collecting all 8 toys, you could complete the full treasure map. I remember being on vacation visiting my cousins in Florida when these dropped, and me and my cousin went to the restaurant trying to get some of the toys. I specifically remember having the Skull Telescope, the Dead Man's Chest, which I quickly lost the key to, and the plush pirate, which was easily my favorite of the 3. The McDonald's promotion didn't stop with just the Happy Meal toys, however, as they also hosted 2 separate contests to promote the movie. The first of these was the Search for the Golden Treasure Instant Win game. This contest utilized the treasure map pieces included with the Happy Meal toys. Blue winning game pieces were randomly inserted into the toys, and 25 people could win a Disney Parks vacation for 4 to either Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, or Disneyland in Anaheim, California, to experience the new additions that had just been made to the Pirates of the Caribbean attractions at both parks. The other contest was the Pirates of the Caribbean Sweepstakes, also known as the Are You Mac Enough contest, a continuation of the 2005 contest of the same name.
Big Mac makes it easy to find treasure. McDonald's invites you to join the hunt with Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, now in theaters. Get a Big Mac, peel the tab, uncover the code, then text in, log in, or dial in, and you can win great prizes, including a new Volvo. Treasure is only a Big Mac away.
By peeling off game pieces found on items such as fries and Big Macs, you could win various prizes like a new Volvo. What other prizes there might have been, I'm not so sure, because outside of an ad and some very low quality pictures of the food packaging, there isn't a ton of info out there about this contest. However, according to the Fry box, there was 1 car given out every day for the contest, as the box mentions 28 cars in 28 days. If anyone has any more info, please leave it in the comments below, because I would love to know more about this contest. Finally, we come to the last and perhaps biggest and most impactful aspect of the Dead Man's Chest marketing campaign. To tie in with the release of the film, both the Disneyland and Magic Kingdom versions of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride received the attraction's biggest changes in its history. 3 separate Jack Sparrow animatronics were added, and Captain Barbossa was added to one of the ships in the battle room. A projection of Davy Jones' face on a waterfall at the beginning of the ride was also added. Various other changes to the attraction's lighting, audio, and effects were also added, mainly to have the characters reference Jack Sparrow. Finally, after a busy summer of tie-ins, merch, and everything in between, it was time for the main event. Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest had its world premiere at Disneyland in Anaheim, California on June 24th, 2006. The park stretched out a massive red carpet for the festivities, and the stars showed up in droves. Sure, you had the film stars like Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, Keira Knightley, and Bill Nye, but various other celebrities showed up for the festivities, like Disney Channel stars Dylan and Cole Sprouse, Ashley Tisdale, and Zac Efron, skateboarder Tony Hawk, director James Cameron, comedian and musician Andy Samberg, and even actor Jon Voight, among others. Before the movie officially premiered, invited stars and guests were able to ride the newly revamped Pirates ride before it officially opened the next week. After everyone got their turn on the ride, everyone made their way to New Orleans Square for the premiere. Disneyland set up a massive screen on Tom Sawyer Island and erected bleachers in New Orleans Square so everyone could watch the film. Right before the movie started, however, the cast of the film sailed across the rivers of America on pirate ships. After a bit of cheering and fanfare, it was finally time for the movie. After the premiere, the film would officially open in theaters on July 7th, 2006. The movie was a massive success at the box office, grossing well over $1 billion worldwide on a budget of $225 million. Not only did it become the highest grossing movie of the summer of 2006, but it was also the highest grossing film of the year. This just shows how much Disney's marketing paid off. They did literally everything they could to get the word about the movie out there as much as they could. The film received a more mixed reception than the first movie, with some criticizing the plot and the film's long runtime, calling it just set up for the next installment. The special effects, however, were praised for being so realistic, especially with the effects on Davy Jones, which still hold up today and beat out 90% of CGI you'd see in most movies produced nowadays. While the Pirates franchise would start to go downhill after Dead Man's Chest, the summer of 2006 is when the franchise was at its ultimate peak, with just about everyone getting in on the marketing action. And I think that's pretty damn special. Hey everyone, Seeker here. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I know it's been a bit since I've uploaded a new video, and I'm hoping to have some more videos out for you guys very soon, so stay tuned.